So on to one of the last things we're going to be talking about today now. So I've managed to get some additional context for you, ladies and gentlemen, through a video. On the video that we talked about last time, the chaos in Epping, about the guy that seemed to be standing off with police. I've actually found a few seconds before the actual video that we saw, the one that was buffering and playing up for me, that really shows why the police were angry. So obviously this was outside the Bell Hotel. People were protesting, and later on this did obviously descend into violence, seemingly because the police agitated it. The police seemed to bring the protesters, the agitators, the Antifa types, to the event, which was peaceful. And there's been another protest in Epping, by the way, as well. There's another one scheduled, I believe, for Saturday. Tommy Robinson is allegedly going to be attending, and that sort of sparked a little bit of discourse in being like, look, the locals have got it handled. Can we not throw petrol on this fire and cause it to go out of control, and the media will have a field day, all of these things. A lot of people are saying, look, a lot of people appreciate it. It would be better, though, if Robinson doesn't attend, especially when he said he was going to bring thousands of people and stuff like that. But so we have this video now. This is the additional context as to what was going on. And just makes you think, ladies and gentlemen. We got another clip coming up in a moment, just blatantly showing the two-tier policing. If, it was to be, and again, the lady that ran over the protester when it did descend into chaos, you got to think they would never do it to like a Just Stop Oil protest and stuff like that. You got to remember, the police hate you. The police absolutely hate you. As shown by this video now, where you'll see the gentleman whom we saw before, and what actually made him seemingly aggressive towards the police, even though he does seem to be a little bit aggressive anyway, is the fact the police officer in the riot gear here actually bashes him in the face with the shield that he has here. So this is the additional context that we missed in that video, ladies and gentlemen, that I showed you last time. Bang. So again, if this was, I'm going to keep letting it play. If this was a left-wing stand-up to racism agitator, pro-pal agitator, you never see this. You only see things like this on St. George's Day when it's English people wanted to go out and celebrate St. George's Day and stuff like that. I believe this gentleman here was later on arrested. So again, not really too sure what to say with regards to this. But again, it does make you think that, the police have told us whose side that they're on. So you have that example, ladies and gentlemen. You then have this video, which is the one I showed you last time, which let me just bring it up on screen for you. This is the video of the police van going through the barrier. And as you'll see here now, this is where the protester gets run over right here. So the female driver comes up and runs over the protester. Never would happen. You see them leaving Just Stop Oil protesters in the middle of the road, despite the fact that they're blocking ambulances, they're blocking motorways. They have no right to do that. It is illegal. So again, you have this kind of treatment when it comes to typically native British people that are angry at the state of policing, angry at how much they're being taken advantage of in their communities and how they are being treated. Here's the other example then, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can find the longer video version of this. This is the clip of the police officer. Sorry, it's not even a police officer. It's not even a police officer. It's community liaison officer. Here we go. I've got the longer version of this clip now. Police liaison telling group of Muslims in Stoke, this is from August last year, if you have any weapons, please discard them at the mosque. This is the kind, when people say two-tier policing, this is what they mean. You have one protest where people get run over. You have another protest where people are asked, please leave your weapons at the mosque. So this group of Muslims laughing and recording it. Have you noticed who the person delivering this message is?
The community, because it's the community that matters. It's the community that we're here for. Mais j'ai bateau à tirer les chouans. This mosque, this small group If there's any weapons or anything like that, what I will do is discard them in the mosque.
There we go.
Don't give anybody any reason.
So a foreigner telling his fellow foreigners, angry foreigners typically that want to subjugate and enslave us and take over our lands, if you have any weapons, please discard them at the mosque. Literally, when the police say that they defer to their own communities to police them, this is what they mean. Police have said they won't police these communities. But when it comes to you, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to you who have been agitated in what was a peaceful protest from the start, this is the treatment that you get. Just let me remind you. This is the treatment that you get. Muslims and foreigners get please leave your weapons at the mosque. You get run over by a police van. Don't ever tell me that two-tier policing doesn't exist. Don't ever tell me that two-tier policing doesn't exist. Apparently at the Epping protest that was yesterday evening, again, this further highlights the difference between how police will police these events. They'll protect people like Just Stop Oil and the pro-Pal protests and all of these things, the child rapists and all of these things. However, what have been dubbed snatch squads were out tonight, this is referring to last night, in Epping. This is Active Patriot reporting. So I wonder what the hell that was. It was a major knocking. Give me 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I think it was someone outside. I think it was someone outside in the garden. I thought it was somebody at the door initially. Anyway, so here you go. This is how the police were responding to last night in Epping. And again, just notice the difference. Just notice the difference in response. I know noticing is a crime now, ladies and gentlemen, but just notice the difference in the response. Truly disgusting.
Stay there. Yeah, fine, stay there.
Then they act confused when people hate them. They act confused when people hate them because we see what side you're on. You're on the side of the enemy. You're on the side of the enemy. So this is truly, truly disgusting. Truly, truly disgusting. Again, what are we supposed to do as just regular British citizens? What are we supposed to do? In many ways, we kind of just have to sit back and take it and go along with it, because if we try to resist, if we try to do these things, it'll just go even worse for us. It'll just go even worse. Again, I'm for people defending themselves, don't get me wrong. That's why I'm very, provided we go back to being a morally upright, virtuous, God-fearing nation. I'm very pro Second Amendment for the natives of this, for the natives of our countries, particularly because we need them. Because the state will take away guns from us, and criminals will still have them. Gun control doesn't work. Doesn't work. Otherwise, again, we'd see zero gun crime. We see zero gun crime, but as I've touched on before, Sammy Bulgravano always says, look, if I'm a criminal, I'll always have a gun. I'll always have a gun. It's funnily enough, when laws come into, again, disproportionately affect normal law-abiding people, you have to then start questioning what it's being done for. And we're now seeing what it's being done for. So if you had, this was happening in, say in a place like Texas or Florida, for example, where you have an armed citizenry, you don't see things like this for the most part. You don't see things like this. Don't see state overreach in this massive way. It makes you see a lot safer communities as well. There was that iconic clip of the sheriff that went viral where he said, you are, even come down to one of our gun safety courses, if somebody's threatening your property, if somebody's threatening your family, you are well within your rights to take their life, Florida. In fact, we urge you to do that. We urge you to deal with criminals, and actually giving people that agency to deal with these problems themselves, showing that they actually trust their citizenry. The nanny state showing that they don't trust their citizenry, and admittedly, with how much we've let ourselves decline morally and virtuously, there's a case to be made that we have to do some soul searching ourselves. We've made a certain amount of this problem ourselves, and if we go back to being a God-fearing, morally upright people, then maybe as it lays out in Leviticus, maybe as it lays out in Deuteronomy, things will actually get a little bit better for us.